Drew and Rebecca, right? Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. Welcome to the January 21st Planning Commission meeting. I'm going to roll. Ethan Reed,
Present.
Mark Ferguson,
Present.
Alexander Bainey,
Present.
Jensen Tilkey, Jay Winborn,
Present.
Brooks Davis,
Here.
Tanisha Roundtree,
Present.
Cassidy Cook,
Present.
Kevin Gambrell, sorry.
Present.
Thank you. And I'm Lori Quinn. Okay, we're going to go ahead and read our statement that we read before every Planning Commission meeting starts. The Conway Planning Commission makes recommendations to the City Council on public hearing items. Items reviewed on this agenda will be considered by the City Council as early as January 28th of this year. Items not approved by the Planning Commission/Board may be appealed to the City Council within 30 days of the date of denial. So with that, we're going to get started tonight, and our first two items, we're going to move a couple items. If you guys have an agenda in front of you, I don't know if everyone has that, but for our planning commissioners, we do have some new commissioners tonight, so if we could go around and everybody introduce yourselves, because I know we have two, and just so you'll know all of us, and we'll go from there. Cassidy, do you want to?
Hey, I'm Cassidy Cook. Nice to meet all of you.
I'm Kevin Gambrell. I live here in town and I'm pleased to be here.
Good. We're glad to have you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tanisha Roundtree.
Okay.
Mark Ferguson.
And if you want to say where you work, I forgot to say that, or where you don't have to, but I'm Lori Quinn, and I'm the chair this year.
Ethan Reed. I'm the vice chair.
Alexander Bainey.
Brooks Davis.
Okay.
Jay Winborn.
Okay, great. All right, we're going to move our old business item, which it is a public hearing item. We're going to move that to the public hearing, right?
Can we do minutes real quick?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Can we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, second.
Second.
Okay, Tanisha. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Thank you. Okay, now we are still moving the item, we're still gonna move that down. Okay, so we're gonna move the old business down to the public hearing. We'll start with the subdivision review. It is a request for waiver to allow deviation from road radius design standards. And I believe Ryan's gonna.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you very much. This is a little bit of housekeeping. This deals with Cardinal Valley Phase 2. The turn radius is required by our regulations to be 100 feet. They have a 53-foot radius. I've discussed this with transportation, and they don't see any issues with it at all. So that's really what we're looking at here. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Are the other roads in that subdivision, are they the same requirement?
They are. They all
Okay.
have to meet the same requirement. This
Okay.
one's the one that has the variance.
Got
which
it.
is why
Makes
we're
sense.
here.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Is the applicant here? Would they like to add anything to this tonight? Okay. Ryan, nothing else to add? Okay. We'll pull that back into commission. Anybody have any questions?
I do not.
Make a motion to approve the waiver.
I second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We will move on now to our next item, which is also subdivision review, a request for preliminary plat approval, 1600 Place PUD.
Yes, ma'am. This has been here before. It's been several years, though, so it had to come back. This is at the southeast corner of the intersection of South Donaghy Avenue and Favre Lane. It's roughly 4.06 acres. The current zoning is a planned unit development, and the comprehensive plan shows multifamily for this area. The applicant's requesting preliminary approval of a 19-lot subdivision. The development represents the residential plan unit development, which was approved in May of 2020. 16 of the lots will feature two-family dwellings, while the remainder will be developed with 4 and 6 attached dwelling units for a total not to exceed 48 dwelling units. The staff comments are the same as they were in 2020. You've got those in front of you. The corrections needed on the plat have changed after additional review. If you have any questions on this, let me know.
Anybody have any questions? Ryan?
I had one quick question. On the preliminary plat, do you guys describe the right-of-way separately from the rest of the tract?
When dealing with calculations, we do, yes.
But not on the plat itself as a separate item with meets and bounds descriptions?
Can you repeat?
So on the preliminary plat,
Yes.
you have the acreage, but it's the meets and bounds description doesn't segregate out the right-of-way portion. You all don't? Thank you.
Okay.
Good.
Anything else? Okay, is the applicant here? I think Bob, somebody just walked in maybe for this one. Patrick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey there, I'm Patrick Hageman with the Tyler Group. We're representing this property for 1600 Place. Our client there is just looking to develop this subdivision for duplexes to put out there. It does already have PUD approval. It has been through the commission once, but as Ryan said, it had to go back through again because its time had lapsed. And anyone got any questions?
And you're good with all the comments and all the,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We're all good with all the comments.
and could you state your name and your address? Sorry for the.
You're all good. My name is Patrick Hageman, 240 Skyline Drive.
Okay, someone's taking notes, so we just got to make sure they can.
You're all good.
So I had a question.
Yes, sir.
Lots 18 and 19, are those lots going to be limited to one duplex per lot?
As far as I'm aware, no. I think, I haven't seen that in a little while. I do have the plans with me, so I can check it, or I can hand them to you here in a minute. But as far as I'm aware, I think they have two each. Their main reason for their large size, though, is there's a detention area that's in between the two of them. 4 and 6, thank you kindly.
4 to 6
Yes, sir.
per,
Per lot.
okay.
Okay, anybody else have any questions? Okay, is there anybody here that, in favor that would like to speak? Anybody else? Is there anybody here opposed? Okay, with that, we will bring it back into commission then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Make a motion to approve with the corrections and conditions listed in the staff report.
Seconded.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay. We got that. Okay. Good deal. All right, let's move forward with our next item on the list. We are now going to be moving into our public hearing, correct? Okay. And we're moving that item, if you have an agenda, we're moving the old business item up first. And that is a request to annex 43 acres on 226 Sturgis Road.
Yes, ma'am, and if you're looking at your reports, it's 1A. Like she said, this is a request to annex 43.05 acres along Sturgis Road. The property lies roughly 1,310 linear feet south of city limits. It's located adjacent south of the county property address at 226 Sturgis Road if you're using the map. The comprehensive plan calls for single family in this area. I did a traffic count based on the proposed zoning of R1 single family. The traffic impact would be significant. We're looking at 2,358 vehicle trips per day. No portion of this lies within the 100-year floodplain, and any utilities will need to be coordinated with the applicant and Conway Corp. I'm going to read the staff comments. An order has been provided from the county court of Faulkner County releasing this land for annexation into the city of Conway. Documentation has been received from the Department of Transformation and Shared Services showing the applicant has coordinated with that office. Per the city of Conway annexation guidelines and procedures as established through state statute 1438, 101 through 108, and 1438, 114 to 116, and the city of Conway ordinance number 02277, All areas to be annexed must be contiguous to and adjoin lands which are included with the city of Conway. The city of Conway's comprehensive plan states in section 8, annexation strategies, annexation should be encouraged to square off municipal boundaries and to avoid islands within the county that are surrounded by municipal boundaries. The applicant is proposing annexation of a 50-foot strip of land shown as track 2 on the map, which connects the larger property to be annexed to the city of Conway city limits. R1 is the appropriate zoning for the area and consistent with other properties in the area. And the applicant is requesting police protection, fire protection, street maintenance, sanitation, and the ability to connect to Conway Corp utilities. Questions?
Anybody have anything for Ryan?
I'm sure I will shortly.
Okay. Is the applicant here to speak for this request? Okay, Mitch? And if you'll state your name and address.
My name is Mitch Hart. I live at 1401 Hogan Lane in Conway. As the owner, I'm the applicant, and I'm asking for your help in annexing this property.
Okay. Any questions for Mitch?
What's your status with Conway Corp?
They attended a meeting a couple of meetings ago, and they spoke in favor of the annexation at that time. So I will never speak for Conway Corp. But they spoke in favor of it, so.
Conway Corp is in favor. Just real quick, we have the ability to serve water outside city limits currently. We do not have the ability to serve electric outside city limits. We can serve sewer outside city limits with special considerations, but we want to annex the property before it develops. Otherwise, it costs our ratepayers a lot of money to acquire those electric customers from Entergy after the fact.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for that clarification. Anything else for Mitch?
So were the residents in between given the opportunity to join the annexation, or because I know we're trying to not leave gaps, so was that a consideration for you to include the residents in between where your property is and the city limits?
We talked to several residents in that area, and they, we asked them if they were interested in annexation, and they were not, so.
Have you had any discussions with the Pediatrics Plus farm that backs up to this, that's super close?
I have not,
Okay.
although I'm open to that.
Okay, I think we're good for now.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anybody else that wants to speak in favor of this here tonight? Okay, do we have anyone in opposition to this tonight? Okay, and just for the public to know, if we receive letters of opposition, we will let you know about that as well. We did not receive any letters of opposition on any of the items tonight. So, okay, we'll pull it back into commission.
This doesn't seem to meet any of the city requirements for annexation. Is that accurate? Based off our,
I'm not gonna get into any legal stuff, that's for
Sure.
Mr. Finkenbinder, but typically you don't use a road to connect city,
Yeah.
but Mr. Hart has obtained permission from both of those property owners to dedicate right-of-way to
Sure.
the city. It'll ultimately be up to city council after they've spoken with Mr. Finkenbinder. You can, I mean, it's up to this body to do whatever you
Sure.
feel like to do, but there is another step
Right.
involved in this annexation.
yeah,
So
that doesn't wash it over us, though, I don't feel like. Okay.
I can tell you that Mr. Hart has worked very hard the last
Yeah.
couple of months.
No, there's no doubt in that. I
And
mean, we've
he's-
seen, this is
yeah.
the third time we've seen this in this room,
Yes,
so
yes.
there's no doubt in the
He
efforts that
did
have been put
obtain-
forward here.
Obtain permission from the county, from Judge Dodson, to release the
Sure.
Yeah, Brooks, I know you asked about the neighbors to the north if they're interested in annexing. Mayflower Water currently has a water main along Happy Valley Drive, so those customers are served by Mayflower Water. If any of those were to annex into the city, that would be in opposition to current city ordinance that only Conway Corp can serve water other than well water. So if they did annex by that route, it would cause some more hurdles to jump through. So that's one reason that wasn't
Okay.
in favor by Conway Corp for the path of annexation.
Okay.
Any other questions anybody have tonight? Okay. Let's, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, a second.
Second.
Okay, second from Tunisia. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Got that recorded for tonight, and we appreciate that, and we will move on to our next item on the list. Our next item is a request to rezone the property at Miller's Creek subdivision.
Hello. You guys saw all of this a few months ago in the fact of a preliminary plat approval for Miller's Creek subdivision at the corner of East German and Lower Ridge Road. At the time the property is currently not platted, we are in preliminary plat review. So there are not lots as it sits. So we're looking at this very small 3,000 plus square foot piece of property that's currently on lot 22 if we look at the plat of record that we're going to be filing eventually. It's currently zoned R1, and due to some reconfiguration, we lost the lot to the north. There was that weird bump out where the lot did not split perfectly between R1 and R2. So they've gone in and they've removed a lot, and now that small portion of lot 22 is going to be zoned from R1 to R2 to better align, and we'll split the subdivision properly. So as it sits, it's just under 3,500 square feet, so it's 0.07 acres. As we went through with the preliminary plat approval last month, it's a pretty agricultural and single-family zoned area. This small portion is not going to have any traffic impact because it's literally a portion of a standard R2 lot. The intent of it is just to do a basic cleanup of the zoning portion. As it sits right now, that's the only change to this preliminary plat and the small portion to be rezoned.
Okay, anyone have any questions for Lauren? Okay, is the applicant here to speak in favor? Bobby, I think this one's yours. If you'll say your name and address, please.
Bobby French, 1021 Front Street. Yeah, we just ended up having some drainage and some other issues there that we ended up losing a lot up there on the street. So we, when we did that, we kind of reconfigured like she said. So it's just kind of something we needed to clean up.
Okay,
You have any questions?
anybody have anything for Bobby? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else here to speak for? In favor? Okay, anybody to speak in opposition? Okay, thanks. We'll bring it back into commission.
Make a
I'm
motion
good.
to approve. I
Okay.
second that
Move
motion.
and a second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. We will move on. Lauren, our next item is a request for conditional use permit to allow mini storage in an RU1 zoning district.
Yes, so this is at currently address 1550 East Dave Ward Drive. And as it sits right now, this entire triangular lot is one platted lot of Lot 1 Mayor subdivision, but the applicant's looking at further subdividing, and that yellow portion will be where the proposed mini storage is in the RU1 zone. The RU1 zone is basically a industrial zoning that tends to be more of a mixed-use type zoning, so you may see more office or retail use, and it tends to be in a somewhat more not just commercial or industrial zoning, so you may see it in neighborhoods or close to neighborhoods. Currently, the site is adjacently zoned by agricultural, some more RU1, obviously, and some commercial uses to the west. There's no existing structures, it's in no overlay, and the comprehensive plan indicates it as single family. Right now, with nothing being on the site, anything built will impact the traffic. The highest density use for the RU1 zone could be a clinic, and based on a 5,000 square foot structure, would be around 188 trips a day. Mini storage of this caliber with 5 buildings, 50,000 square feet is going to generate around 73 trips a day, so considerably less than what the highest impact could be. There is a lot of traffic at the southwest corner currently. It's around 17,000 trips a day on Dave Ward there. It's not within any FEMA flood zones. As it sits, the property was rezoned from A1 to RU1 back in May of 2018. And there was also a CUP for religious activities issued for the site prior when it was A1 back in 2008. Obviously, that's never come to fruition. The applicant has seen all of the comments at the time of approval by you guys and then subsequently council. That existing CUP will go away. There are some limits on what can be done on the site. We've talked about the adjacent land uses and how the plan indicates for RU1 as the site. Right now, like I said, it is one lot. When it goes through site development review, it will have to replat and it will be at that time subdivided. And we have a site development review application currently in review for the site. So basically, once we get approval for these sites, that will go into further levels of review. And we have proposed 15 conditions. I will take any questions on those if you have any.
Anybody have anything for Lauren? Okay, thank you. Is the applicant here tonight? Thank you. If you'll state your name and your address, please.
I'm Mark Rickett with Rickett Marconi Engineering at 1425 Victoria Lane in Little Rock. We are in agreement with all staff comments and conditions and just here to answer questions if you have any.
Anybody have any questions? Okay. Is there anybody, thank you, we appreciate it. Is there anybody else here that would like to speak in favor of this tonight? Okay. Is there anyone here in opposition to this? Okay, good deal. We'll bring it back into commission.
Make a motion to approve
With the 15 conditions.
with the condition.
With conditions, okay.
Second.
Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Any opposed? Okay, thank you. We are going to move on now to our next item that Lauren has for us as well.
All right, last public hearing item is another annexation. And forgive me, there's a lot of streets around here. We are at 3208 Nutter's Chapel Road, which is currently bound by Old Military Road, Madison Road at the intersection of Nutter's Chapel Road, and then the proposed construction eventually of a punch through a Favre Lane around the entire south of the property. Currently, it is, as it sets, 67.52 acres. It is not in city limits. The requested zoning upon annexation is R1, which is consistent with our comprehensive plan. There is one single-family home and currently right dab in the middle of it. It's a 1,420 square foot residence. It's not in an overlay, and the projected traffic impact, as it sits, it's not developed. So we have to do the right-of-way math. With 67.5 acres, you could develop up to 392 single-family homes, which is around 3,700 trips a day in the area. The site does currently have some portions of the property within the FEMA Special Flood Hazard Zone that the developer will need to take into consideration. It does appear that water, electricity, and sewer are available at the site. Any extension throughout the site will be met with Conway Corp. On the master street and trail plan, like I indicated, you can't see on the map, but further east where it cuts off, Favre Lane runs. Eventually in time, as the city develops and roads are developed and we are moving west in this area, basically right along that entire southern property line is right of way dedicated for the future expansion of Favre Lane. That would be happening at the subdivision. So staff comments are that the requested R1 is appropriate for the area. The way the property has been proposed, the annexation request requires and meets the requirements of O2277, which is the annexation ordinance. It's consistent with the comprehensive plan regarding the land uses proposed, and the applicant is requesting fire, police, street maintenance, and the ability to connect with Conway Corporation. Any questions?
I don't have any. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. Is the applicant here tonight? Hal, if you will state your name and address.
I'm Hal Crafton. I live at 4980 Tyler Street. We're asking to annex this. This is a piece of property that joins the city, and It has all the utilities, and I own land further south of there, and the city has grown 2 or 3 miles past this. I didn't realize it wasn't even in the city, so I didn't do my due diligence, obviously, but it's a piece of property that needs to be part of Conway, and it'll allow us to continue to grow south, because any sewer that, for the property that is in the city, will have to come back, and it's the natural step of developing south in that whole corridor
Yeah.
there. So if you got any questions, I'll be glad to answer it. We're not going to be able to maximize because of some of the terrain and everything. There's some pretty good major ditches, and I think she did a good job addressing. We're having to leave a half of the easement for future Favre Lane to the south that we're addressing in this. So,
And you were fine with all the comments and recommendations?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody have anything else? Okay. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Is there anybody else here to speak for? Okay. Is there anyone to speak in opposition? Okay. Thank you. We'll bring it back into commission. Any
Make a motion
discussion?
to approve.
Okay.
Seconded.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
And that concludes my first planning commission meeting. But we are going to move into, we do have some announcements and additional business. So Ann, if you want to.
Just a couple of things. We want to, if the planning staff wants to welcome Kevin and Cassidy, we appreciate your service to the city. Training. Last year, we did some just really, I've been told that you can't hear me. Last year, we did some really, it was just kind of a Q&A session, and planning staff sort of went over what a CUP is, what zoning. Y'all, I can't talk tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You just need us to be there.
What I'm saying is we're gonna do that again this year. We're not gonna sit you down and do a PowerPoint presentation and preach at you. We liked that interaction, and we felt like people got more out of that than being talked at. So we got snowed out the last time. So February 4th or February 6th is what we're looking at right now. Show of hands, who wants the 4th?
Is that a Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday and Thursday.
What time?
We can do it at 5, we can do it at 5:30, whatever.
What's the date again?
We're gonna do it in the town hall conference, February 4th.
Is there one of those days that one of y'all can't do?
Right.
So I'm out of town on the 4th.
And the 6th, or,
I fly back on the 6th, but I'm not sure what time. So
okay.
Also, he just may not be able
I
to.
would be out on the 4th, but maybe on the 6th, because I will also be likely flying back then.
Okay.
Is Wednesday an option at all?
Well, they'll be gone.
Okay.
Definitely be out.
Yeah, they'll be gone. The next week, we're into city council and that sort of thing. I mean, we could do it.
Can new people make the 6th?
Yeah, can
Cassidy,
everybody
Kevin?
new make it the 6th?
I will cooperate and flex as needed, so.
Okay.
Well, we don't
Well, since
want
the
you to-
6th is possible.
I mean, we
maybe.
could talk about the 12th or 13th if we needed to. That's still before the next meeting. We try to get these in before your first meeting.
But it's
Weather
not-
didn't cooperate,
Yeah.
so.
12th would be preferable to me, but again, like I said, I will.
12th on a
flex.
Wednesday?
Are y'all in town? on the
Huh?
12th?
It's next week,
I'll be
Tuesday?
flying back on the 12th. and 13th.
Well,
I have the crazy. I have the
quiet.
crazy-
He says he's gonna be gone.
This
He's
is
been
world
here a
traveler.
while. I think you're
I
gonna be
try
gone.
to
Let's see. How about 28th is council? What about the 29th or the 30th of January? Anybody
Next
got
That's
Yeah.
next week.
29th works.
29th on a Wednesday
next
night?
We're just counting.
You're out
You
on the
don't count
29th?
Ethan's out. Ethan's out.
You did probably
All right.
plan at this point.
Kind of do it for a living, so.
Do we want to say the 29th? Does that work for everybody?
And what, at 5 o'clock?
Let's say, can everybody get here by 5 or do we need to bump it to 5:30? Okay.
5's good.
Okay,
fine.
so you'll come in that back door. Guys, it is in the city, between
the
us
US
and
Pizza.
US Pizza parking lot. And we'll email you the code to get in. Okay?
So you're gonna send
I think some of
email
them.
out?
Yes, we'll send an email out
You sent it to
with
us, yeah.
information about how to get in.
It's a very good.
I mean,
question.
And the town hall conference center's just right through that back door. You'll see
Okay.
us.
The arrow was very precisely placed on the tourist location.
I'll let them know.
That was excellent.
Good to know.
And then do we have, is your item under this too?
Yeah, I just wanted to get it in here before. We have to notify you guys when we do any administrative waivers, and I do apologize. The
Oh,
case
yeah, go
record
ahead
is
and do all
is
that.
wrong. We're doing a site development and a sub concurrently right now. For 901 McNutt Road, it's the new Clayton Homes out there at McNutt and Dave Ward Drive. They are going currently through site development review and plating. As we all know, Spirit Homes, that building's been there forever. It is currently constructed in the exterior setback, so we had to grant a small reduction of that setback. It was within the feasibility for us to do it, the 10%. So we have now notified you guys that we did it. We are currently in review of that. It's going great. So thank you, guys.
Okay, the last thing I've got, statement of financial interest are due to the city clerk by the 31st. We have notaries here. I'm a notary. Anytime you can get it to me between now and the 31st, I'll run it up to Denise. I don't know who all we have, but she asked me to mention that. So just coordinate with me. I think everybody's got my phone number.
Do you have a document we could fill out now?
Yes. Yeah, well,
They send it via email.
I can run back there and print you one off real quick if you'd
It
like.
kind of takes a minute, just FYI. You may not
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
You might want to take.
And a
take
lot of
minute to
it
do it.
is
I read it
not
very
applicable.
carefully.
Yeah, I had to read it a few times myself. So.
Yeah.
But I'll be happy to run you a copy off.
No.
You good?
When do you need it by?
It has to be in the city clerk's office by the 31st.
It's gotta be notarized.
It's-
29.
Yes.
Okay,
And
perfect.
I'll have my notary.
Okay,
So
that'll work.
that'll work. Okay.
So yes, everyone just bring theirs the night of the 29th and you can get it notarized and stuff. Okay. Anything else?
I don't have anything.
Good job, Lori.
Okay. Yay. We are adjourned.
I make a motion to adjourn. You got a motion?
I take it back.
Motion, Ethan.
Second.
There we go. Thanks, guys. Good meeting.
Good job.